Hari Om. Hari Om, Suprabhatam, and a very warm welcome to all of you who have tuned in today. This monthly Sadhana Day is a feature that Chinmay International Foundation has consciously taken up as an initiative to connect personally with all our students, all those who have subscribed to any of our courses or are part of any of the publications that they have read, or the Shravana Mangalam series that they have subscribed to, etc. So we felt that there might be a need in all of us to connect online and check on some sadhana tips that we would like to bring into our personal sadhana. So therefore, this initiative of the monthly sadhana day. So to begin, I shall just do an invocation. Om. 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvanavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shant Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamrayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Harihi Om. So welcome once again to the monthly Sadhana Day. Today we have with us as our facilitator for the Sadhana Day, we have Brahmacharni Devaki Chaitanya ji. The sweet-voiced Devaki ji has been a devout of the Lord since her younger years and has been graced in many ways to partake in many Bhagavatam Saptahas, and we also have her beautiful recording on the Narayaniam and Bhagavatam with us at SIF. So today she is going to talk to us about the Bhakti Marga. I request Devaki ji to start the session. Thank you.
Hari Om, thank you. We'll start with prayer. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Paramananda Madhavam Pitambaram Karavirajita Shanga Chakra Kaumodagi Sarasijam Karuna Samudram Radha Sahayamati Sundara Mandahasam Vadalesha Manisham Hridi Bhavayami Sandranandavabodhatmagam Anupamitam Kaladeshavadibhyam Narmuktam Nityamuktam Nigamashada Sahasrena Nirbhasyamanam Aspashtam Drishtamatre Punaruru Purusharthatmagam Brahmatattvam തത്വാവദ്ഭാതി സാക്ഷാത് ഗുരുപവനപുരേ ഹന്ത ഭാഗ്യം ജനാനാം. We first see who is the happiest man or enlightened person. A person who realizes the Paramatma Tattva, that is Brahman, as his own self. That person is called the enlightened person. And he is the one who is liberated from all his bondages. And he is the one who has fulfilled his life, and he has done all his duties, and he is a true devotee also. And he is experiencing the eternal happiness. I heard an interesting quote from one of the talk of Puja Guruji. If you heard, then one more time you listen, as though first time listening, like that. If you want happiness for 1 hour, nobody heard. Okay, thank you. Take a good nap. And then if you want happiness for 1 day, go to some sports, fishing, or that film festival and all that. That way, 1 day. Or next thing is, if you want happiness for 1 month, then get married. 1 month happiness. Okay. Then if you want happiness for 1 year, win some wealth, win a lottery. That way. And if you want happiness for lifelong, then make someone else happy. Not stop there. If you want eternal happiness, know thyself. That way. Then I was thinking, what could be the topic for this sadhana day. Then I reached a conclusion. Okay, I'll speak about the famous, not only bhakti yoga, but 3 parts: jnana, karma, bhakti yoga, which will lead us to this eternal happiness, which will lead to this total fulfillment. And I do not have the enough learning or experience to determine whether bhakti marga is superior or jnana or karma is superior. But what I am going to do is, I will take 1 or 2 sloka from Narayaniyam, and then Narayaniyam is a devotional hymn consisting more than 1000 slokas. And then I set out here to the extent I have gathered what has expounded in Narayaniyam. And then that way today's topic. First we saw who is the enlightened person and all, and we also want fulfillment in our life. We also want eternal happiness, or we also want liberation from all our bondages and all. For that we will do many things. We will study spiritual texts, we will do some puja, or do some humanitarian activities. Some will follow the path of bhakti marga, or the path of jnana marga, or karma marga and all. These are the 3 main paths. And one important point we have to keep in our mind is, no one of these path is intrinsically superior to another. This bhakti marga or whatever. The life of a karma yogi, karma yoga, the path of action or the path of duty. The life of a karma yogi who is continuously performing his or her duties, and then his or her life is quite as great as that of a jnana yogi who is all the time studying shastra and reflecting mentally or loudly, that way. Narayaniyam, Bhattadiri, that author's name, Melpattur Narayana Bhattadiri, that was his full name. That author of this great Narayaniya book, here asserts Bhakti Yoga is easy to practice and it's sure of giving result. Bhakti is we all know Bhakti, no? Swatu Asmin Parama Prema Rupa Bhakti. We know the definition of also, Bhakti, Bhakti's definition also we know. Okay, Bhakti is the intense love towards God. It can be practiced by one and all with the deep sense of fulfillment. And it gives eternal happiness of every stage and removes even the last traces of ego and make the devotee identify herself or himself with God. The total identification also will happen. This identification with the beloved is everywhere is the measure of love. And the greater the love, the greater is our identification. Total identification means maximum love. Identify herself or himself with the Lord, which is the same as self-realization. The greatness of bhakti is because of this devotion to Lord, the mind gets freed of all fears. That only Vedantins also is telling Didiyat vai bhayam bhavadi. Bhakta is seeing everything as the manifestation of Bhagavan, and bhakti can be practiced by anybody, for that nothing is needed. Anybody can love God. If we love a person, we may not get back the same amount of love which we are given. In fact, no, we will get back dukkha only, mostly. Bhagavatam is telling, Bhakti pareshanubhavo viraktihi anyatra chaishatriga ekakalaha prabhatyamanasya yadashnadasyuhu tushtif pushti chudapayolughasam tushtif pushti chudapayolughasam. When we are hungry and we sit to eat, with the first morsel we put in our mouth, three things happen simultaneously. Bhagavata is telling tushti, pushti, chudapayonughasaha. First thing is tushti. Tushti means contentment. And second, pushti, nourishment. And third, chudanivarti, the removal of hunger. When we are extremely hungry, that point is important. Without hunger, if somebody is every time keep on eating, and then no lunch, no taste at all, that way we will blame food and all. No, that here it's not that case. When we are extremely hungry and eat our first morsel, then we feel great contentment. First one we say urula, one morsel, that itself contentment. And then when even a small bit of food goes in our mouth, that we feel that the wave of energy. Then satisfaction also is there. When we have our fill up to this, we will eat. Then hunger also gone. These three things, tushti, pushti, chudapayonughasan, that the Sanskrit word and all, if it is difficult, leave it. Contentment, nourishment, and that satiation, that purna tripti, these are experienced at once. In the same way, bhakti paresha anubhavo virakti. In the same way, when devotion to God enters our life, dispassion of worldly things, worldly objects, that is virakti, and the knowledge of God, that is jnana, also enter. That means if bhakti is there, virakti will be there, jnana also will be there. Thus we come to experience the Supreme Self. In Narayaniyam, in the beginning, the sloga goes like this. I think this is from second Dashaka, second Dashaka or first Dashaka, I'm not sure. Anyhow, first or second. Yeah, second Dashaka. Sorry. निष्कामं नियतः स्वधर्मचरणं यत्कर्मयोगाभिधम् तद्दूरेत्यफलं यदौपनिषद ज्ञानोपलभ्यं पुनः तत्त्वव्यक्ततया सुदुर्गमतरं चित्तस्य तस्मात् विभो त्वत्प्रेमात्मकभक्तिरेव सततं स्वादीयसी श्रेयसी. Bhattadiri is telling karma yoga abhidam, the path of duty. The path of duty is difficult to practice. He is talking to Bhagavan only. Bhakti, Bhagavan, karma yoga is very difficult to practice. What is called karma yoga abhida, that is practiced without any desire of a result. In karma yoga involves the performance of one's own prescribed duty. How to determine our duty and all, what is our duty and all. It's very difficult based on our character type. According to the Triguna. The Triguna, which are the Trigunas? You know, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas and all. According to the Triguna, we will come in different division. Brahmana, Sattva Pradhana Brahmana, that learning class or a priestly class, that scholarly people and all. Kshatriya, ruling class, Vaishya, merchants or business, and then Shudra, the serving class. And in these four divisions of Varna, duties are different. First of all, to determine which Varna we belong to, that also difficult. And then in these four divisions of Varna, duties are different. Not only this, the span of our life also divided into 4 stages. First one, student life, brahmacharya, then household life, that is grahastha, then retired life, vanaprastha, then sannyasa ashrama, complete renunciation of all worldly activities and all. For each of these stages, there are duties. And these duties and all, these duties to be performed without expecting any reward. Who can do this without expecting reward? Early morning onwards, I start my work. This work, that work, to send my children to school and husband to office, and then no reward, at least 2 good words they can tell. No? That also is not there. Or if anybody, if everybody left from my home, such a nice peace of mind I will get, and I want to stretch out my body. Or my son get married, then I can give all this kitchen to her, and then I can rest. I can take rest. That way, what I am trying to communicate is, it's very difficult for the common people to be totally free from desires. Prayojanam anudishya mandopi na pravartade. Even the dull-witted will not get into action without ascertaining the result. Therefore, all actions of people are generally result oriented. A poor woman, she was abandoned by her husband and left with no visible means of support. And she did not complain to anybody, no case and all. With her husband, all the time she was getting all the beating and all. That time also she was okay. And without him, that time also, now also she is okay. But some of her friends or well-wishers they did complain, and then when the case came up in court, the judge asked her, have you any means of support, whatever? And she answered, Well, Your Honor, I have three to tell the truth. Three? What are they? And then she said, my hands, which is ready to do any work, and my good health, and my God. My good health, that also is, because of my good health only I can do work. And God, God who is prompting me to do all the work and all. The strength means shows the strength we derive from our faith in God gives us the enormous courage to face any situation confidently. In this way, only one in the million may be able to do his or her duty without expecting any reward and all. And Nishkamam Niyada Swadharma Charanam Tad Duretya Phalam. Bhattadari is telling one more thing, if one rare person done his duty as Nishkama with a mind free from desire, that karma only purify and prepare the mind for acquiring knowledge. The maximum result which we get from karma is Chitta Shuddhi. That's required for gaining knowledge. But Chitta Shuddhi is needed here. The author is telling that is Duretya Bhalam. That too, it takes many janma. Many janma means many birth, death cycle, janana, marana, chakra. It takes Duretya Bhalam. In short, one will find that karma yoga is extremely difficult to practice and is a time consuming. In the same way, the next one, Puna Aupanishada Jnanopanabhyam Yada Tattu Avyaktadaya Chittasya Durgamadaram. Jnana Yoga is still more difficult to practice. For reaching the level of self-realization, first one has to purify the mind. How to purify the mind? By doing our duties without any desire, and do our duties as the offering to God. And only purity of mind is not sufficient for eternal fulfillment. For that, we have to approach for first clarity of knowledge also needed. For knowledge and all, we have to approach a guru, a teacher. Where we will find a good teacher and all? First of all, it's very difficult to find a teacher. And second, the teacher should agree to teach us. And then his life also has to be an integration of his speech and then deeds. There should be an integration. Otherwise, just talking, nothing in practice. No, we don't want that kind of teacher and all. We already got a good teacher, Gurudev, a compassionate guru. Shrotriya Brahmanishta. Now, teacher should be Shrotriya. Teacher also, a lot of lecturers are there. Shrotriya means a proficient in a Upanishad, who is Brahmanishta, one who is living in that knowledge, in that Upanishadic wisdom. That way, okay, we got a teacher, and not one important thing, these kind of teachers are very rare. One Swamiji, who is the head of an ashram, but very old, and in his ashram there are a lot of needs for this Vedanta. A lot of people are coming and then asking this Swamiji, please teach us some Vedanta and all. But this Swamiji is so old. Therefore, this Swamiji sent a request to another Swamiji, who is good, very good in giving, the training and all for young brahmacharis and all. he's a Kulapati. Kulapati means hundreds of Shishyas will be there with him all the time. And that old Swamiji's request is for a wise and holy Brahmachari who can teach Vedanta in his ashram. And then anyhow, this Swamiji had sent around 50 young Brahmacharis. Then in that ashram started a big quarrel. Why, Swamiji, you are sending this many brahmacharis and all? We also need that. That Swamiji asked only one brahmachari or one Swami, and then why you are sending this many? And then this Swamiji said, we will be lucky if one of them gets to that old Swamiji. Anyhow, in short, only one get to that old Swamiji. What happened? About all others and all others dropped out on the way. Some went for to participate. Somebody's marriage and then got married. That way means it is very difficult to get a compassionate guru. In Bhakta's case, it is different. Bhakta, for a Bhakta, Bhagavan. Achanum Bhavan enikku Rammayum Bhavan oral. നിശ്ചയം ഭവാനെനിക്കു മെച്ചമായ ബന്ധുവും ലക്ഷ്യവും വഴിയും എൻ്റെ സദ്ഗുരുവും അങ്ങുതാൻ. ഭഗവാൻ, you are to me my father also, you are my father, you are my mother, and then you are my destination, you are my means also, and you are the guru also. That's Bhakta's case. That is different. But for a person who follows this jnana marga, definitely he needs a guru. And then anyhow he reached at the lotus feet of Guru, and then we heard Vedanta from the lotus mouth of Guru, but no change at all. Ignorance is still continuing. And Ajnana Sthiti, that is no change, without any change, it's continuing. Upanishads keep on telling Tattvamasi Shedagedo, you are that, you are that, and I don't have any doubt in it because I have some faith in Shastra and Guru. Upanishad and all won't tell to me, therefore I have faith. I am okay that I am that okay, but no anubhuti, no experience. Why? My mind is not purified enough. My mind is not purified enough. Purity of mind means getting rid of the base emotions like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsaryadi. What is kama? Kama is desire, and then krodha, anger, lobha, greed, moha, misunderstanding. In Malayalam, moha means desire also. Mada, pride, malsarya, jealousy. If these are there, if this kind of kama, krodha, kama is mother, all others are children. If mother is there, all children also will be there. If these are there, Sadhana won't work in us. After achieving purity of mind, how? By karma yoga, then only we become eligible to pursue the knowledge. Here, two options are there. After getting purification, after getting the purity of mind, with a purified mind, one become eligible to pursue knowledge, or that person can enter into bhakti yoga and not become directly eligible for a moksha. If you want to color, dye, we will do normally, dye our cloth and all. First what we will do, first we have to wash that cloth properly and then dry it, and then we will give that cloth to drying center, dyeing, coloring center and all. A dirty cloth cannot retain dye unless it is initially prepared by cleaning and removing all dirt. The same way, only those who have achieved the purity of mind and attained the sufficient amount of vairagya, the detachment for all worldly pleasures by practicing karma yoga, then one can aspire of jnana yoga. Then it's very difficult, na? Karma yoga is also difficult, jnana yoga also is difficult, because self-knowledge can dawn only in the pure mind. If mind is not pure, and especially if we pour milk into a dirty vessel, then that milk will get spoiled. The same way, self-knowledge is like, lion's milk. Lion's milk we have to keep in golden vessel. Otherwise, that patra, that vessel will get destroyed. That much strong this self-knowledge. But bhakti yoga, who is eligible for bhakti yoga? For those who have not attained the peak of detachment, and for those who still retain some attachment of worldly pleasure. I want this, I want that kind of. For them, bhakti yoga is the means. Whether the mind get purified or cleansed by the practice of karma yoga or not, one can still enter the path of bhakti yoga. That's why we say bhakti yoga is very easy to approach. How we can reach Bhagavan through bhakti yoga? Bhagavan is telling in Gita, Purusha saparaf pata bhaktya labhyastvananyaya yasyandastani bhutani yena sarvamidam tadam. Hey Partha, Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna, hey Partha, saparaf purushaha, that supreme Purusha, that Paramatma, bhaktya labhyaha, can be reached by bhakti. And which bhakti? Ananyaya bhakti. Single pointed bhakti, that bhakti which has no sense of otherness. Bhakti is the nature of love. In love there is a identification, and we feel oneness with that Bhagavan, the total oneness, which with the total identification we can get that Purusha. Which Purusha? Any other Purusha in the world? No, only one Purusha. All others are Stris only. That Purusha, yasya andastani bhutani, that Purusha in whom exist all beings. That Purusha, ena sarvamidam tadam, and the one whom the whole world is provided. That Purusha, that which is the substratum of all this universe, the entire universe, and also the illuminator of that universe, and there that Paramatma can be gained by this bhakti. Labhyastu ananyaya bhakti. Ananya bhakti, the total identification, total tadatmya. Oh Bhagavan, to me, this much time I thought, okay, karma yoga, I can do little bit karma yoga, and then I can approach you, or I will get, moksha. But now that also is difficult. Jnana yoga, that also is difficult. Bhakti, ananya bhakti, I don't have mere bhakti Bhagavan. What about ananya bhakti and all? Out of question. Single pointed bhakti, and I have bhakti to other things. No, I did not do any karma yoga till now. I did not do any karma yoga. But I am doing one thing, this, Chinmaya Mission is doing so much work now about jnana and all. I am attending classes, Sravana, Manana, and then trying to understand the essence of Shastra, and trying to master all the scriptures and all. What will be my gadi? Any hope? Without doing karma yoga, I am doing. I don't have bhakti also, but I am am attending every classes and I'm trying to understand also. With my buddhi, I can do it also. Sri Krishna Bhagavan is telling, Bahunam Janmanam Ande Jnanavan Mam Prabadyade. Somehow this category also managed to reach the God, but that too at the end of many births. They have to continue in many more birth and death cycle. That way we can, no problem at all, we will reach. But no, therefore it is beyond all doubts that Bhakti Yoga is the easiest to practice and quickest to yield the result. It will take one to the ultimate goal. Bhakti Yoga will take us to the ultimate goal. How? Bhattadiri is telling, Tadbhaktistu kadhamridajari nirmajjanena swayam siddhyandi vimala prabodha padavim akleshadastanvati sadhya siddhikari jayatyai vibho saivastu me tutpada prema praudira sadrata drudataram vatalayadhishwara. How bhakti can take one to the ultimate goal? Very easy. Constantly listening. That sloka is like this. That bhaktistu kadamrida jari, constantly listening to the glorious stories of Bhagavan. That constantly listening increases the faith in him. And the glories of these stories is such that we never get tired of hearing them. Again and again we can hear Bhagavan's glories. Normally people won't get tired and all. If at all getting tired, that's not because of any impurity or but the way of telling, maybe because of that. The more one listens to them, the more is the eagerness to listen further. Because of this, the thirst for worldly pleasures get destroyed. That Bhagavan's beautiful form, yet Trilokya, yet Saundarya Uttaradaram Sundaradaram Rupam. Bhagavan's Saundarya, hearing about Bhagavan's Saundarya, if we listen about Bhagavan's beauty and all, we won't go behind the beauty of this world. In a way, if at all, world is Bhagavan only, that way we can go, no problem. Then and the mind get automatically purified. Consequently, the real and sincere devotion develops in our mind and grows without much external assistance. That hearing story itself is enough to create faith in us. And then that way, if faith increases, then our mind also will get that purity, and automatically our mind get purified. Devotion to the Lord is so powerful that it can destroy the ego. The devotion devotion to the Lord leads one step by step to the self-realization. Sadhya Siddhigari. Before it is said, Duretya Bhalam. That too, one will take many birth and death cycle. Here, Sadhya Siddhigari. All these are made possible within the short time of one's own lifespan in this Janma itself. Therefore, Bhakti Reva Sadadam Swadiyasi Shreyasi. Bhakti is Bhakti Reva Sadadam Swadiyasi Shreyasi. Bhakti is always the sweetest and the noblest of all the paths. And then we start with the happiest one. And according to Bhattadiri, who is the happiest one? who is experiencing the eternal bliss and all. Bhattadari is telling, Padhanto namani pramada bharasindo nipatitaha smaranto rupam te varada kathayanto gunakadaha charanto ye bhaktaha toi khalu ramante paramamun aham dhanyan manye samadigada sarvabhilashitan. But in all slogas are like that only. He is talking to Bhagavan. Bhattadari is talking to Bhagavan. Aham dhanya, aham manye. I consider Bhagavan. I think, I will tell who is the happiest person in this world. I consider that devotees, your devotees, how they are leading their life. Padhanto namani Krishna Rama Govinda Hari Rama Krishna Govinda Hari Govinda Hari Govinda Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Hari Govinda. Or another Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram. Bolo Rama 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 Raja Ram. Bolo Rama 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 Raja Ram. Like that, Padhanto Namani. All the time, chanting Lord's name and Smaranto Rupam Te. Bhagavan's Rupa, they will continuously think about Bhagavan's Rupa. ऊर्धस्पर् सूर्यस्पर्धि किरीटमूर्ध तिलक प्रोद्भासि भालांदर कारुण्याकुलनेत्रम् आर्द्रहसितोल्लासं सुनासापुडम् गण्डोद्यन्मकराभकुण्डलयुग. Like that sundara rupam, that beautiful crown, and then Bhagavan's eyes, and that eyes so wide eyes, because so much karunya, so much compassion is there. That rupa, all the time they will think smaranto rupam te. And then if at all they talks each other, they will talk about Bhagavan only. They will tell that stories and all. Yesterday I had a good dream. I saw Bhagavan. Bhagavan came into my dream. That way, kathayendo gunakadaha charando ye, by who chanting Lord's name, meditating his charming form, and then narrating stories and Lord's glory and all. They fallen into the ocean of bliss. Pramada Bharasindo, all others they also fallen into the ocean of that samsara, ocean of samsara. We are in the ocean of samsara, transmigration. But bhaktas are also in the ocean, fallen in the ocean, but ocean are different here. Pramada Bharasindo, ocean of bliss. They fallen in the ocean of bliss. That way, I think Bhagavan, they are the happiest. They are enjoying eternal happiness. Then if you want to enjoy eternal happiness, then what to do? You have to become a bhakta. How to become a bhakta? Constantly listening the glories of Bhagavan, and then how that process, that glories and that stories, and they we won't get any tiredness and all while listening, and then consequently that real and sincere devotion will develop in us. And then it can destroy our ego also. That way we will we will raise to Bhagavan. Okay, we will chant some Bhagavan's name and then we will conclude this session. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram. Bolo Rama 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 Ram Raja Ram, Bolo Ram 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 Raja Ram, Bolo Ram 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 Raja Ram, Bolo Ram 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 Raja Ram. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Siya Ram, Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Siya Ram, Bolo Ram 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 Raja Ram, Bolo Ram 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 Raja Ram, Bolo Ram 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 Raja Ram. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hari, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hari, Jai Jai Ram, Krishna Hari, Krishna Hari. Okay, you have any doubt or anything? No, everything is clear? Okay, what is there? Bhakti Yoga is superior to all others. Okay, we'll conclude. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Devki ji, for that wonderful talk on Bhakti Marga, right? Yes. So we would also like to show one short video of Gurudev, him talking on the Bhakti. 1 second.
If there is such a spiritual center in every one of us, in whose light all our experiences, physical, mental, and intellectual, are shining out. A state in myself, not somewhere. So no journey in time and place is necessary. It is in my own heart. This great spiritual center, which is my true nature, is with me right now. Swami, how to reach there? The intellectual man will always ask that question. How to reach? Because to question how, why, when, where, what is the function of the intellect. Now the teacher says, Purushasya Parapartha. Hey Partha Arjuna, that Parapurusha, that supreme Purusha, spiritual center in you, Bhaktya Lebhyastvananyaya, with Ananya Bhakti, with a devotion, total, loyal and complete devotion, you can gain that state. Ananya, with no otherness. All our devotion to the Lord is matlab, forgetting something from the world of it. Have you ever gone to any temple? Have you any day prayed without begging something from him? Come on. If that you have got a nephew or a son, who whenever he meets you, he says, Papa, give me that, give me this, give me that. And always he has got a list of things that he wants. Don't you think your respect and love goes away and you hate that fellow and you try to avoid him? Even if supposing on the road he is coming, oh yeah, that fool is coming, let us go by this way. Will you not duck yourself into any sublane and go by the back road so that to avoid that fellow? When you beg, you are a slave and the giver is the master. So never beg. not even to the Lord, because then you become a slave. He has no respect for you. So don't go to the world with the hands out. Beggar, go to the world to give. And that's called blessing. So when you ask and beg, you are a lower creature. Learn to give.
With that, we will close our session today. Thank you for participating. Do write to us and let us know what you would like to have in the monthly sadhana sessions. Yes. Thank you very much again, Devaki ji, for this beautiful session. Hari Om.